The world these days is spinning faster than a ceiling fan during a blackout. This morning it's war in one place, by afternoon it's a political earthquake somewhere else. Today, while scrolling through U.S. news, I stumbled on a story that sounds satire at first, but gets unsettling the more you read. The U.S. government, fronted by Donald Trump and his inner circle, is rumored to be trying to buy Greenland with an offer so outrageous it makes your head spin. $1 million in cash per person, a Tesla thrown in for good measure, and a shiny U.S. passport as a bonus. Sounds sweet, right? Imagine shoveling snow in the Arctic one day and suddenly $1 million falls out of the sky. Instant life upgrade. But our elders have always said it, there is no such thing as a free lunch. The juiciest piece of cheese is usually sitting inside a mousetrap. Behind that crisp green $1 million bill lies a global chessboard soaked in the smell of gunpowder, rare earth minerals, and the raw fear of great powers staring each other down. So today, let's dissect this story sidewalk style. No academic jargon, no polished diplomatic language, no deep concern, just calling things what they are. Why is the U.S. so desperate for Greenland that it's willing to embarrass itself on the international stage, doing the very things it usually condemns others for? First, let's talk about that generous offer. Picture this. You're living peacefully in your house, legal title in hand, friendly neighbors all around. One day, a real estate shark shows up with a sack of money and says, "Sell your house, come live with me. I'll give you $1 million for pocket change, throw in a luxury electric car, and move you into the rich neighborhood." Greenland has about 57,000 people. $1 million each comes out to $57 billion. Add cars and other perks, and you're looking at maybe 60 to 70 billion total. For an individual, $1 million is life-changing. For the U.S. federal budget, $60 billion is pocket lint. It's a tiny fraction of America's nearly $900 billion annual defense budget. This is a bargain purchase. The U.S. would be using spare change to buy one of the most strategically valuable pieces of land on Earth. But money isn't the whole story. Why does Elon Musk suddenly appear in this deal? Why Teslas? That's no coincidence. Musk isn't just a businessman anymore. He's more like an unofficial senior advisor without a title. Slipping Tesla cars into the package is psychological warfare at its finest. It targets Greenland's younger generation, the tech-savvy crowd attracted to innovation and prestige. It paints a future vision. Come with us, and your frozen island won't just be ice and polar bears anymore. It'll become a green tech hub of the future. And then there's the U.S. passport. For many people worldwide, that's the ultimate dream. But for Greenlanders, not necessarily. They already hold Danish passports, among the most powerful in the world. They enjoy Nordic welfare, free education, near-free healthcare, generous unemployment benefits. So what do they gain by switching to an American passport? Global taxation, one of the most expensive healthcare systems on Earth, a society where mass shootings aren't shocking anymore. Get sick once, and that Tesla might be gone overnight. That's why most Greenlanders aren't buying it. They're not stupid. They already live in a social model many countries can only dream of. Why voluntarily jump into the meat grinder of ruthless capitalism? Now we get to the real reason. Why Greenland? It's not because America needs ice for its drinks. Look at the map. Greenland sits right on top of the planet. As climate change melts Arctic ice, shipping routes that were once impossible are opening up. Cargo ships traveling from Asia to Europe via the Arctic can save weeks compared to going through the Suez Canal. Time is money. Greenland sits at the gateway to tomorrow's future sea lanes. Whoever controls Greenland controls the toll booth of tomorrow's global trade. Militarily, Greenland is a choke point. The shortest path for Russian intercontinental missiles to reach the U.S. is over the Arctic. America needs radar systems and missile interceptors there. Yes, the U.S. already has a base, but it's rented, and rented land comes with uncertainty. Buy it outright, and you can build whatever you want, store whatever you want without asking permission. And then there's the real buried treasure, Rare earth minerals. No rare earths means no smartphones, no electric vehicle batteries, no permanent magnets for jet engines and missiles. Today, China dominates global rare earth supply. One political sneeze from Beijing and Western manufacturing starts choking. Greenland holds massive untapped reserves, enough to break China's stranglehold. Owning Greenland means securing technological and economic security for decades. But the biggest driver isn't greed, it's fear. Fear of Russia, fear of China. The Russia is the Arctic heavyweight, with the world's strongest icebreaker fleet and a rapidly militarizing polar presence. China plays the long game, quiet investments, loans, infrastructure projects. The U.S. watches these two circle its backyard and loses sleep. What if Greenland tilts to Moscow? What if China builds ports there under debt-trap diplomacy? A Chinese naval presence in Greenland would feel like a knife at America's throat. That fear is why the U.S. shifted so quickly from charm to intimidation. First came the sweet talk, the money, the promises. When that failed, the threats crept in. Statements about doing it whether they like it or not. That's not diplomacy. That's a mob boss talking. It shows urgency, even desperation. But all-right military force is unlikely. Denmark is a NATO member. If the U.S. fired a single shot, NATO would fracture and the global order would crack. Russia and China would laugh. The more likely path is economic pressure, political manipulation, internal destabilization, slow erosion of sovereignty without firing a bullet. So what's the takeaway from the Greenland story? A bitter truth. For small nations, sovereignty is fragile. When big powers want something, they try everything. Money first, threats later. Greenland's curse is its perfect location. Its people are sitting on a bonfire. Take the money and lose the country. Refuse and live under constant pressure. Meanwhile, we sit here sipping iced tea on the sidewalk, watching the street go by. Maybe that quiet life is the real luxury. The world's giants are playing chess with nations as pieces. If you're lucky enough to live peacefully for one more day, treasure it.
Thank you for watching this story. If you found it meaningful, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this video. And now it's time to say goodbye. Thank you for staying with Societal Stories.